Welcome back to what I've been wanting to do for a while. This is the third one I've recorded as of right now. This will be the first one I upload because I'm doing, a review, my thoughts thing on the 2017 pay-per-views. And as you can hear, there's generic-ass music. I mean generic. It's music of WWE's, I don't know, menu. This is Paybacks, because I'm going to watch Payback after I do this video, so I can do one on the Payback Backlash double feature. Well, this one isn't that. I've already done the Elimination Chamber, I've already recorded the Elimination Chamber, Fastlane 1, and WrestleMania 33s, but now it's time for the Royal Rumble. I just want, whatever. The reveal, and as always, it usually comes with a card, and I'm pretty sure this one's not randomized. It's just a guarantee you're gonna get this card. Like, you're gonna get it if you get the Royal Rumble, I'm pretty sure. It's The Rock, obviously. But the Royal Rumble 2017 from the Alamodome, I have the results thing in front of me from Wikipedia, and I only had 5 matches on the main card, and I had 3 on the pre-show. You had the 6-woman tag team match, which is just your standard 6-woman tag team match. It was alright, nothing great, nothing bad. New Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the tag team championships. That was a decent match. It sucks for them because they got relegated to the pre-show. I'd almost expect the cruiserweights to take that spot instead of them, but it is what it is. I guess cruiserweights rank above tag team. When the division looked like in January. But yeah, it was a solid match. It was nice. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows finally won the tag team championships on the pre-show. I mean, hey, at least they got on the main card of Fastlane and WrestleMania. They lost their titles there, but who cares? Nia Jackson versus Sasha Banks, and what is a pitiful... No. Match shouldn't have happened. It's honestly just a waste of time. Charlotte Flair versus Bayley for the Raw Women's Championship. This match was surprising. It was a lot better than I was going in expecting it, because I'd never seen this pay-per-view walking into it. I think I'd only seen the Royal Rumble, and that was it. I had not seen Charlotte versus Bayley, Kevin versus Roman, Neville versus Richard, John versus AJ. Never seen any of them. But this match genuinely surprised me with how good it actually was. I'd say their Fastlane bout was better, but not by much. And that's not to knock it. Both of the matches are good. But I just prefer the Fastlane one. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns in a no disqualification match in which Chris Jericho was suspended above the ring in a shark cage. This match was just a straight up brawl, which is what Roman's good at. I mean, it was just a really good street fight brawl match. I mean, personally, I think I prefer the last man standing match Kevin had with Ambrose last year. But this match was still really good in its own rights. I liked a lot of the moments, especially the frog splash through the table. Kevin Owens falling through that chair pyramid he built, that was amazing. Anytime somebody gets put through an announcer table, that's sweet. The Superman punch, but then brass knucks, that was a nice moment. Again, they're shoving Roman strong as he's kicking out of literally anything and everything that isn't Braun Strowman. But yeah, it was a solid match. Kevin Owens can't win on his own. Story continuing. But it was still a really good match. Really solid. And then you had Neville versus Rich Swann. Again, another match that was a lot better than I thought it was going to. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. Like, I knew the match was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. I mean, it was... probably my least favorite match on the main card, but it was definitely better than anything on the pre-show. And even then, I think I prefer the Charlotte Bayley match just a smidge more, not by much. And then you have, holy crap, John Cena versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, in which John Cena won his 16th WWE title. Wow, that match just blew anything and everything out of the water. Like, dang. Who knew they'd put off one of the best matches of the year so far in January at the Royal Rumble? Granted, the Royal Rumble always has one match that's like really good. It's far above the others. I mean, honestly, I'd warn. I would give this pay-per-view a buy just based off of that one match. Unless you want to wait till like. Oh, when does it come out? The best pay-per-view is the best pay-per-view matches always comes out at the end of the year-ish, early, because it always ends in like October. Like they never go in. The best pay-per-views of X year never goes past October. And then the past couple ones I've seen always ends at Hell in a Cell. Screw Survivor Series and screw whatever pay-per-views happen in December. They're not going on the best pay-per-views DVD. Even though there were spectacular matches last year that happened. The men's Survivor Series match, AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. I'm trying to think of a match from Roadblock. Honestly, there's only two matches that I can think of from Roadblock, and that's Charlotte versus Sasha in the Iron Woman match, and the Seth versus Jericho. Otherwise, everything else, not really warrant of it. I mean, you can, for the sake, put the tag team match on there because it's historic in its own right, because it's the end of the New Day's 478-day reign. So there's that, but none of them are like clear-cut winners. Like how that TLC match between AJ and Dean is. Maybe the women's match. Maybe the Iron Women's match, I'd have to say. I just go with those three. Men's Survivor Series. AJ, Dean, Sasha, Charlotte. As always. They're always going to be on there. And any match they do, obviously, because on the Best of Raw and SmackDown, their two Raw matches are on there. What was it? The Falls Counts Anywhere no disqualification match, and the one on Raw after. No, was it? Yeah, it was the first Raw after the draft. But yeah, John Cena versus AJ Styles, an amazing match. Just, I can't even put it into words. It's great. Like, it definitely warrants what Meltzer gave it, which was a 4.75, near 5-star match. And then you have the Royal Rumble match. Oh, Lord. This one caused a lot of controversy because they had like 8 unknown spots. And none of them were all that good. I mean, some of them were understandable. Like Mark Henry. You didn't know he was going to be in it. But he's understandable because he's from Texas. Ellsworth and Enzo Elevate, they had like funny moments. Like Ellsworth being eliminated after Dean amps him up, and then Dean backs out and just lets Ellsworth, just leads him to slaughter as Braun Strowman destroys him and chokeslams him outside the ring. That was a brutal spot, and it was a nice spot, but I don't know if that would warrant him being in the match in general. Honestly, as good as a moment as that was, I'd still prefer him to be out of the match and for another good surprise, you know. Same thing with Enzo, his encounter with Brock Lesnar. As funny as that was, and Corey Graves' commentary is perfect at that moment. Oh my gosh, that Corey Graves' commentary as Enzo came down the ring just made Enzo's whole appearance worth it. But that being said, kind of like with Ellsworth, I really liked the moment, but I could do without him and then putting somebody else, somebody better, somebody more important, viable, somebody's shock value that's actually going to be good or do something positive. I can't remember any of the others, to be honest. That's That's how bad all of the other surprises were. I just don't know who they were because I didn't care. There could have been better replacements. And then, of course, you have the infamous and controversial number 30 spot being Roman Reigns. Oh, I swear they edited in cheers. Because as soon as his music hit, it sounded like edited cheers. With no boos. There were no boos at all. It was just edited cheers for like 5 seconds before they just kind of like gave up and let the boos overtake. They just gave up on the edited cheers, and then it was just boos. And the crowd was chanting? The crowd was chanting bullshit for a vast period of time. I wouldn't say vast, but during moments. Like, they didn't do it constantly, but they did it. They sprinkled it in there constantly, especially when he was fighting the Undertaker, and then when he eliminated the Undertaker. Or when he first started fighting, they started chanting it when he first came out, and then when he eliminated him, that's when they chanted "This is bullshit" heavily. And then they extended a period of time where Roman came in the ring, and it was just him and Taker face to face, just staring at each other, and they wanted it to be this magical moment, this dream match that everybody's been waiting for, but nobody wants it, nobody cares for it, nobody's looking forward to it, nobody asked for it. Just nobody cares. Nobody wants it. That is a match that sure, yes, can qualify as a dream match because they're from two different eras. But nobody wants it because you know it's not going to be a good match. Undertaker at his stage in his career needs somebody to carry a match, and Roman just can't do that. Roman can have a good match with somebody who can carry their own weight and somebody who can carry him even a little bit. But if he has to carry the match himself, it's not going to work. Roman's just not that kind of worker who can carry a match. Roman needs somebody who can carry their own weight in order to even have a great match. But, it was just a moment they kind of prolonged that they wanted to have an effect that just fell flat, and there wasn't anything there. They wanted magic to happen in that stare down, and there was just nothing. There was no spark. There was nothing because there was nothing interesting there. The whole storyline between the two was, whose yard is it gonna be? Sorry, I don't care. Right, I don't care for a lot of things Roman does. I don't hate him, but I don't care. It's just my issue with Roman is I don't care. And I truly believe they just used Roman to make sure Randy Orton got a pop for winning, because I don't care that Randy Orton won, to be honest with you. I think I would have much preferred Bray winning instead of Orton, because I think that him winning the Royal Rumble would have helped Bray better than Bray winning the Elimination Chamber. Because if you do it that way, then Orton wins the Elimination Chamber and Bray wins the championship at WrestleMania, not the other way around, because nobody wanted Orton winning the belt for a prolonged amount of time, just like nobody wanted Cena winning the belt for a prolonged amount of time, which is why Cena dropped the belt immediately at the next pay-per-view, because Cena's at the point in his career where he can hold a championship for a month and it won't hurt him. It won't. Same thing with Orton. I mean, he's literally a 13-time World Heavyweight Champion now. He's at that point where he can hold the title for a month, where he can be a transitional champion for a younger guy like Bray, which is probably what they should have done, but they didn't. It is what it is, but I still love that spear at the end, where Roman goes for the spear, or I guess the spear counter, Roman goes for the spear and gets caught in the RKO and then boom, eliminated. Also, before I end, they had a Jericho winning and then going on to face Owens for the title at Mania. Would have been a much better story than Brock and Goldberg. They just threw away that storyline's magic for star power, which I thought was stupid, but whatever. So I hope you have a great day. Remember, only you can be the best you can possibly be. If you like the video, give it a like, comment, feel. I don't know why my voice is going out a bit. Subscribe if you haven't. That really helped me out. And what was your favorite match from this pay-per-view? Did you have anyone in particular, be it pre-show or main card? I highly doubt it's going to be a pre-show one, but if it is, what's wrong with you? And that's your opinion, and I'll respect it if it is. Ta-ta for now.